Hello from the Backstage Cafe in Covington, Kentucky. I'm Jack with Tyler. Today we are interviewing local metalhead, musician, enthusiast, Kenny.
Hi.
For the past 3 years, this is the 4th year now, you and another bandmate, Anthony, friend, you guys have put on one of the largest local shows that features the up-and-coming local and regional talent from as far away as Milwaukee. Tell us more about that.
Actually, Madison, Wisconsin.
Madison, Wisconsin?
Yeah, with Lord.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. But the event was actually started by the AUTOMATON, by Anthony Campbell, and his vision was, just to make an event that helps grow the local metal community. I started working with Anthony on Powerfest starting last year for Cincy Powerfest IV, and the past event was the most successful yet, being held at the Madison Theater. We had over 315 people for metal acts throughout, local metal acts and regional metal acts here in this area.
What's metal acts?
What?
Metal acts?
Metal yeah,
acts?
metal acts.
What's that?
Oh, well, the metal acts that we had, we started off with Siegelord, Scarangella. We had Lords of the Trident from Madison, Wisconsin. We had Stagecoach Inferno from Louisville, Kentucky. We had Ford Theater Reunion out of Lexington, Kentucky. And then obviously we had AUTOMATON, which headlined the show.
So, when you entered the local metal scene, did you expect to wind up helping put together one of the biggest local metal shows in the area?
Absolutely not. When I entered the local metal scene, it was 2009. I was in a different band that time, Shawl Creek, and we were just there just to pretty much have fun and see what we could do with that little band. But it eventually led me into joining AUTOMATON and helping out with Powerfest. So it was honestly completely unexpected that I would even get to this point when I started back then.
So, are there going to be any big surprises this year, like your old band playing, or any fun, goofy antics like we've seen in the past years?
Unfortunately, Shawl Creek will not be playing this Powerfest, but we do have a few nice things planned, and I think everyone's going to like what they see. Last year was a really huge event that just brought out the closeness and the dedication of everybody in the community, because this event is entirely driven by fans and word of mouth, and just the ever increasing support for the local metal scene in Cincinnati. So I think with that being said, we're really going to go into this 4th year and have a lot of special things put together.
What do you think Powerfest means to the local metal community?
I would say Powerfest to the local metal community, at least what we want it to mean, is an event solely designed to show the strength of the local metal scene in Cincinnati, because like I said, it's entirely driven by the support of the fans, because without them coming, without them supporting events like that, we wouldn't have a show to put on. So with that being said, I think it's entirely an event for the fans, because we try to make it as affordable as possible for people to come into a bigger sized venue and see some of their favorite acts and acts they may have not been aware of performing on a bigger stage in front of a lot of people. So I think it's just it gives this big rock star vibe environment to the local scene. Why don't you join us, Anthony?
Hey.
Is he in the shot? All right, is he good?
And this is Anthony. He is the starter of Powerfest. He started the event back in 2013. So,
Yes.
Yes. All right. Next question. What makes Cincy metal scene stand out besides everything going on with Powerfest?
do you want to take this one, or?
Yeah, what I've noticed with a lot of it is when you go to certain towns, there is the big band, and the big band of metal. So say you go to, a certain town, they are the band that you want to play with. In Cincinnati, it could be us, Gomorrah, Split the Abyss, name any band, and everybody wants to play with them. There's no main band in the area, which I think is pretty cool.
Are there any bands you want to give a special shout out to, elaborate it on a little bit more for us?
I think that question should easily be answered with Stagecoach Inferno, hands down. They're pretty much our twin band from Louisville, Kentucky. They've become somewhat of an integral part to Powerfest over the past couple of years. Another band I'd say we want to give a shout out to is our good friends out of Cleveland, Dead Iron, because they recently got to play the event Vakken. in Germany earlier this year, and played in front of like what 10,000 people. Yeah,
They
so
were the opening act of Wacken Open Air.
Also, Stagecoach is coming out with a new album, their first full album.
yes, it's a town called Atonement. They're actually doing their Indiegogo is finishing up, but I believe if assuming this interview gets up in time, go on there and support their album, because our debut album, A Bold New Horizon, was driven entirely with Indiegogo, and to see those guys hit their goal and make their album happen would be nothing short of fantastic, because their music is really good and it deserves to get the best attention possible.
I remember when we first started coming around at these shows, our first show for the metal local scene was Powerfest 2? Powerfest 2.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, we were supposed to see Winterham up in Columbus, opening
Pagan
for...
Fest?
No, opening...
for Ailstorm.
Ailstorm.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And then their van broke down on the side of the highway.
I think we
So,
saw that.
I remember that.
Yeah. So we were supposed to be up there watching them. We came for Ailstorm, but then we saw them on the fly for Powerfest 2. Came down to see them, and the first couple of times we've seen you guys, AUTOMATON, there was not a show for like the first 2, 3, maybe 4 that we did not see you without Stagecoach Inferno.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
That's quite the brotherhood.
Oh, definitely. That same goes at our steampunk event shows. We do the same thing with Ford Theater Reunion. We've played a lot of shows with them as well. I would say out of all the bands we played with, Ford Theater Reunion and Stagecoach Inferno were the 2 that we've shared the stage the most with, and both of them are going to be here tonight.
Awesome.
And one more band to give a shout out to, Siegelord.
Siegelord.
Their debut album is going to be coming out next month.
It's awesome.
So be sure to check it out, because those guys are pretty wild.
Yeah.
I'm out of questions.
Oh, my turn then.
Yes.
So you guys are sponsor for Powerfest, Shumatsukan. How'd you guys get affiliated with them?
Anthony, tell them this story.
Well, I've been friends with the con head for, I want to say, 6 or 7 years at this point, and he just brought up the idea at OhioCon while we were training together to fund Powerfest, and that's how it happened. That easy.
What is Shumatsukan?
It's an anime convention based out of Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, it's one of the first like brand new conventions to come into Columbus. It's not only completely new and fresh, but it's also been successful in its first year. Something that's very hard for a first year con to get. And they have a lot of surprises in store for the second year as well.
Okay, so the first year with you guys was last year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. So this show is going to be dedicated to one of your former bassists. Just touch on that briefly.
Well, Anthony, you were the founding member of the band. You were in the band at the time.
Yeah. One of our original bass player unfortunately passed away a few weeks ago, so we're doing a raffle during the show to help go to whatever charity his family sees fit, and to help with funeral costs and whatnot.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we will be dedicating the full event Powerfest 4 in his memory as well, because he played the very first one with AUTOMATON, and it's just as an integral part of it as all of us are.
Yeah.
I believe you have another show related to that in Dayton coming up soon.
Yes, we have that one on December 4th. That's ran in his hometown. It's got Split the Abyss is going to be joining us from Cincinnati to play this show, and donations are going to be there. All proceeds are going to go to benefit that. So I think if anybody can make it down to Dayton, it's going to be a pretty special night.
I would go. I got exams like the week after.
Excuses.
Excuses, sir.
All right. Last one I think we have time for. What kind of pit size do you think you guys can handle for the last couple songs for Powerfest?
Like what kind of pit size? I think we
Pit
could.
size?
I think the entire crowd going into a mosh pit.
Yeah.
That's happened a few times before. Last
You know
Powerfest
what?
was insane.
At least 12.
At least
12.
At least 12.
10.
Is that a big
Height.
for you?
I mean, at least 12. I would like bigger, but at
Okay.
least would be nice.
Yeah.
But I think, if anything points to our previous shows at the backstage, they get pretty wild. It's if you're not a mosher, don't stand in front.
I remember last time the guy in charge of Shumatsukan, I saw him get hit.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
Oh, shit.
Yep.
he
Poor
was
Matt.
not happy. All right. So anything else you guys want to talk about real quick?
Honestly, I just thanks for running this interview for us, and to anybody watching this, please do yourself a favor and come out to Powerfest, because we really bring this to showcase the local metal scene in Cincinnati, and I think that I think the fourth year is going to be the biggest yet. So just be sure to come out and enjoy all the awesome bands that we have on the lineup. We have opening for us Solar Flare, first time into Powerfest. We have Fort Wayne, Indiana's own Zephaniah. We have all the way from Madison, Wisconsin, Lords of the Trident coming again, and then we have Siegelord hitting us up with more local support, and then we will be headlining the show. And all signs point to just as epic, if not even more monstrous than last year's event.
I can't wait for it.
We love to help you guys out. Anybody else in the local community, support your local metal scene. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Watching.
Good.
Peace.